What is the consequence of industrial sickness? Huge financial loss to banks or financial institutions. So because your enterprise is becoming sick, so it will cause a huge financial burden on the banks or financial institutions because they only provide you the funds to start the industry, right? So if the fund what they provide is locked up in your sick industrial unit, then it cannot be used for other people who require funds to start their own enterprise, right? So it will also limit their future lending capacity. So if you ask money from them again, they will not be able to lend you money because already a huge amount is locked in your industry as a sick industry. And the recovery of the loan what they have given takes a long period. Assume that your industry is sick and it has recovered means then okay. But it is continuing to be sick for a long period means then recovery also will take a very long period. And it will have adverse effects on the financial health of the financial institutions. Even these financial institutions start becoming sick. The immediate impact on industrial sickness is felt only by the financial institutions or banks. Okay. After that, if your industry is, if your the enterprise what you start is becoming sick means it will lead to loss of employment opportunities. So it will even aggravate the more dangerous socio-economic problem. People will not have jobs, people will not have money to spend, and it will again make the issue very serious in the social economic aspect. Emergence of industrial unrest. So trade unions will oppose the closure of the industry, saying that they want their employees to be given salaries. So their strike will happen, industrial strike will happen. So finally, what happened? The environment to run the industry itself will be completely collapsed. So the first purpose of establishing the industry, everything will be collapsed. And again, you have to start from the beginning. So it will have a consequence effect on all these aspects. Adverse effects on prospective investors or entrepreneurs. All your investors will be shocked by saying that you are becoming sick. So the share price of your company will come down. So it will affect the stock market of the country. So if many people have brought the share of your company, means everybody will be bankrupt. So it will immediately it will affect the economic status of the country also. So what happens once a company has got a bad name, investors will not invest in shares in that company again. So you will have the psychology playing in the investors' mind that they will be, even if the company has overcome the sickness and started doing well, the investors will always have a mentality that the sickness will come into their mind whenever they want to invest in your company. So the psychology will be a major playing factor when it comes to investors. And the industrial climate becomes non-conducive for industrial development. So finally, nothing will be in your favor. You will be going in one direction, but you will be opposed heavily in the direction what you proceed. And finally, the industrial climate, everything becomes non-conducive. So next one, wastage of scarce resources. So you have a lot of raw materials stored up in your industry for processing, but the unit is not running because it does not have the required amount of funds, right? So these scarce resources will be locked up in your industry. And when you take underdeveloped countries, these resources are already scarce. So already scarce, they are not available, but you have bought them for a good money and it is lying idle in your company. So the wastage of all the raw materials will happen. Loss of revenue to government. So by your company, if your company is exporting a lot of products, means the government is also going to earn by putting tax on the items what you produce. But when your company is not into production, when the company is not into production, what happens? The government will have a lot of loss in the form of taxes, the form of duties levied from industries. So it is going to affect the financial institutions or banks first. Then you are going to have loss of employment opportunities. Then you will have what is called as industrial unrest. Then the adverse effect on the investors, entrepreneurs, and shareholders, wastage of scarce resources, and loss of revenue to the government. All these are going to be the immediate side effects of sick unit, which is going to be in the market. So how to take corrective measures? So how to correct your sick unit and make it healthy? So there are many methods by which your sick unit can be gradually made into a healthy unit. So that is possible. Sickness is not occurred overnight. So sickness is not coming overnight. It is a gradual process. So they say that it will take minimum 5 to 7 years for a good company to corrode the health and wealth of the company. So minimum 5 to 7 years means all the indicators will be given to you, saying that if you don't take this decision, the company may become sick. So it will all would have been given to you 5 to 7 years back, but because of those inputs not taken into consideration, so after 7 years, the company will be completely spoiled in the health and wealth. So identifying, detecting the sickness at the incipient stage is an appropriate step. So if you are very shrewd, you have to identify the sickness 5 to 7 years immediately. Immediately, if something goes wrong, if you don't correct it, it cannot be corrected at the later stage when everything is completely spoiled. Unit management wants to close if the project is not viable. So if the company is not at all possible to run the company and complete the project, mean then the only option what you have is closure. You want to close the company, sell all the machinery, repay all the loans you have to the banks, and then you completely close the company. But if the something can be done to revive back the business, mean the banks or financial institutions, they can see what help can be done so that this situation can be overcome and it can be again made profitable. And finally, labor. So because of the sickness, the labor, the human resource, they will lose their job, or they will be in the job, but they will not be given additional benefits like PF, bonus, and other incentives, increments. Everything will be cut, and normal salary will be paid until the business becomes successful. They have to overcome. They have to live with it. Otherwise, they have to resign the job and search for a better job. So these three view industrial sickness differently. If all these views could be properly integrated, the unit can be salvaged in the best. Okay, so these are the three important things your industrial sickness is viewed by: unit management, financial institution or bank, and labor. So these three things they have a different view on your company. Unit management means either you are going if nothing is possible, close the company and close the project. If you can infuse some cash into the company and the company can slowly be revived means then the banks will be giving additional cash. And labor, they have to be with you to overcome this stressful phase of their career. Otherwise, even if labor, they are going to resign the job, and then you have to recruit again new people, and everything will start over again. So these three aspects of financial sickness have to be properly handled. Otherwise, you cannot correct the sickness what is attached to your company. Okay, it will be very difficult. There is a there is a board called BIFR, Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. So you have to present the case of your company, and they would analyze and see what can be done to reconstruct your business and financial status of your company. So your company will be made to undergo a rehabilitation program where they will present you the different alternatives. They will guide you the different alternatives where you can again revive the business. The bank should periodically review the accounts, so they will review the accounts periodically. Improper opportunity scanning made by entrepreneur, and large number of units may be permitted to close. Only few number of units may be permitted for revival. So if many people are applying for closure means you cannot allow just like that allow everybody to close their business. So largely, if the company is running in loss or having sick for large number of years, those units will be permitted to close, while other units will be taken up for revival. They will see the possibilities of reviving that particular uh, unit.